Very interesting developments concerning Greenland. A matter of geopolitical survival. Former Danish minister concerning Trump's Greenland deal. This minister is 80 years old, so he basically knows the World War II history concerning Greenland because the United States was using it during the war. Now, as President Trump makes a very public effort to acquire Greenland, one former Danish official said Trump's attempts are nothing new, but he should not expect it to be easy. Interesting in buying Greenland has popped up from time to time in the American politics. Tom Hoyem says he's Denmark's minister to Greenland from 1982 to 87. He told ABC News in an interview. Hoyem is 83 years old, discussed Greenland's political importance over the years, as well as his reaction to Trump's recent desire to buy the island territory. Hoyem said Trump is living in a narrative where this has been an issue for the last 150 years. The purchase of Greenland has been a topic of conversation since before World War II, when Denmark sold to the Danish West Indies, now known as the U.S. Virgin Islands, to the United States in 1917 for $25 million. Isn't that interesting? So the U.S. Virgin Islands was not always U.S.'s, it was Denmark's. Now, Hoyem said, this is what he said, many American policymakers argued that the U.S. should also acquire Greenland as well, according to Hoyem. President Woodrow Wilson at first said, no, it's not worth anything at all. It's just ice. I don't want it. But there was such big debate in the U.S. that he was forced to do something, Hoyem said. When Wilson asked for ownership of Greenland, the Danish minister at the time replied no. According to Hoyem, Wilson signed the agreement in 1917, stating the United States recognizes Greenland as Danish, Hoyem said. So let's remember that 1917 is when the U.S. acquired the U.S. Virgin Islands from Denmark for $25 million. Now, in the document discussing the transfer of the Danish West Indies, then Secretary of State Robert Lansing wrote, in proceeding this way to the signature of the convention respecting the cessation of Danish West Indian Island to the United States of America, the undersigned Secretary of State of the United States of America, duly authorized by his government, has the honor to declare that the government of the United States of America will not object to the Danish government extending their political and economic interests to the whole of Greenland. If Denmark was to ever sell Greenland to any country, Hoyem said, the United Kingdom would receive the first right to buy it, since the UK held dominion over Canada at the time of the treaty. Canada is only 20 kilometers away from Greenland, and that's why the British said, if Denmark ever sells Greenland, we should be the first to decide whether to take it or not, Hoyem said. And now with Trump saying he wants to purchase Greenland, Hoyem said history is repeating itself. Trump grew up hearing these stories, Hoyem said. His generation and his parents' generation often heard about the U.S. attempts to buy Greenland. Trump has repeatedly expressed his interest in acquiring the island territory, beginning during his first administration, when he tried to buy Greenland but instead gave $12 million for economic development. Trump has since restated his interest to buy the territory shortly before his second inauguration. For purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world, the United States of America feels that the ownership of control of Greenland is an absolute necessity, Trump said in December 2024. Trump said the purchase was needed for security purposes, adding he is protecting the free world. The U.S. also operates Putifik Space Base, the Defense Department's northernmost base, which sits on the coast of Greenland. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it, Trump said, without explaining, during a January 7 press conference at Mar-a-Lago. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world, he said. Greenland is also rich in valuable minerals, including rare earth metals, precious stones, and uranium, according to the U.S. Department of Commerce International Trade Association. While that may sound appealing to a potential buyer, Hoyam said mining there is extremely expensive. Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., visited Greenland on January 7, but stated the visit was for personal reasons. During his trip, his father said on social media, "Don Jr. and my reps landed in Greenland. The reception has been great. They and the free world need safety, security, strength, and peace. This is a deal that must happen." Secretary of State Marco Rubio also reiterated the interest in the U.S. securing Greenland during his Senate confirmation hearings. Putting aside all the things that are going on in the media, I think we need to understand that Greenland's been strategically important to the United States and to the West for a very long time, Rubio said. I think we now have the opportunity to see it for what it is, and that is one, if not the most important, one of the most critical parts of the world over the next 50 to 100 years will be whether there's going to be freedom of navigation in the Arctic and what that will mean for global trade and commerce. Hoyam said he does not know Trump, but thinks he needs to be briefed a bit more about his civil servants. His new Minister of Foreign Affairs spoke to the Danish Foreign Minister, my party leader and friend, and they both agreed, let's not discuss Greenland for now, Hoyam said. The Prime Minister of Greenland, Moot Egse, has rejected the idea of selling Greenland to Trump, saying Greenland is ours, not to Trump and the United States, obviously. We are not for sale and we will never be for sale, Egse said in a statement. We must not lose our long struggle for freedom, he said. Officials from Denmark also have not supported Trump's Greenland proposal, including Danish politicians Anders Vistisen, who explicitly argued that newly elected presidents to F off, that meaning Trump. Now, Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years, Vistisen said during a European Parliament meeting on January 21st in Strasbourg, France. It's an integrated part of our country and it's not for sale, he said. Hoyam said if Greenland decided to become independent, they would immediately be targeted by major global powers. Until then, Hoyam said the territory needs more U.S. military investment to help defend it. Well, obviously, if the U.S. buys it, it'll have excellent defense. Hoyam said, I personally cannot imagine Greenland becoming fully independent. Running a country that large with so few people is nearly impossible. Of course, that whole thing is almost as big as, the Yukon Territory of Canada, even bigger. With only 45 people or 50,000 people, how are they going to defend it? Now, regardless of the future of Trump's Greenland proposal, Hoyam said the land holds significant power. Trump might have looked at Greenland as a real estate deal, but for Denmark and Greenland, it's a matter of geopolitical survival, Hoyam said. The Arctic is extremely important, and I agree with Trump on that. So there you go. The doors are opening, aren't they? It looks like something may happen there. For this Danish minister to say, I agree with Trump on that, okay, something's going to happen, I'm sure. This is on by ABC News, DNYUZ. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.